Sometimes, life gives us storms not to break us, but to help us discover our true strength. This is the story of a boy who lost everything and still found a reason to rise.
In a small dusty village surrounded by dry hills, there lived a boy named Yusuf. The earth was cracked, the wells were empty, and the people had long stopped smiling. Years ago, the rains had stopped coming. The fields turned brown, the rivers turned to dust, and many families left in search of a better life. But Yusuf's family stayed. His father said, "This is our home, son. We'll wait for the rain." Yusuf believed him, until one year his father fell sick and never got up again. Now Yusuf and his mother lived alone in a small clay house. Every morning he looked at the empty fields and wondered, what's the use of waiting? One hot afternoon, Yusuf went to fetch water from the faraway well. On his way, he saw an old man digging a hole in the hard earth under the burning sun. Sweat ran down his face, and beside him was a small bag of seeds. Yusuf laughed. "Old man, what are you doing? Don't you see the ground is dead? Nothing will grow here." The old man looked up, smiled, and said, "My son, the earth may look dead, but it still remembers the rain." Yusuf frowned. "But what if the rain never comes?" The man wiped his forehead and replied, "Then I'll still die knowing I tried. Hope is a seed too, and it must be planted." Yusuf didn't understand. He filled his pot and went home, shaking his head. That night he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the old man's words, "Hope is a seed too." The next morning, curiosity pulled him back to the same place. The old man was still there, digging, planting, and watering the soil with what little water he had. Yusuf sat down and watched. "Why don't you rest?" he asked. The old man smiled again. "Because if I rest, the dream sleeps too." Something changed in Yusuf's heart that day. He thought about his father, who used to plant seeds even in bad seasons, always saying, "Rain will come when hearts are ready for it." So the next day, Yusuf came back, this time with a small pot of water and a few seeds he found in his house. He helped the old man dig. They worked silently, side by side, as the sun sank behind the hills. Days turned into weeks. People in the village laughed at them. Two fools planting dreams in the desert, they said. But Yusuf didn't stop. He felt stronger every day, not because the earth changed, but because he did. One morning, the old man didn't come. Yusuf went to his house and found it empty. The neighbors said the old man had gone to live with his son in another town. Yusuf stood silently, staring at the bare ground where they had worked together. He almost turned away, but then he remembered the old man's words. Hope must be planted. So Yusuf kept watering the ground alone. Even when the last drop of water in his pot was gone, he didn't stop visiting the field. Then one evening, as the sun was setting in golden light, something small caught his eye. He knelt down, and there, from the dry, cracked earth, a tiny green shoot had broken through. Yusuf shouted with joy. He ran home to tell his mother, "It's growing, Ma. The ground is alive again." In the days that followed, more green shoots appeared. Slowly, the brown field began to turn into soft green patches. The villagers couldn't believe it. They came to see for themselves. An old man whispered, "Maybe the boy's madness worked after all." Soon everyone started helping and bringing water, clearing rocks, planting more seeds. What began with one small act of hope became a wave of change across the whole village. And then one night, after many long months, the wind changed. The clouds gathered, lightning flashed, and for the first time in years, the rain came. It poured down the hills, over the roofs, into the dry fields. Yusuf stood under the rain, laughing and crying at the same time. The villagers danced. The earth drank deeply. The green shoots grew tall and strong. Years later, when Yusuf had grown into a young man, people often came to see the lush green fields that had once been nothing but dust. At the edge of those fields stood a small wooden board with the words, "Planted by those who believed, when no one else did." Whenever people asked Yusuf, "How did you make all this happen?" he would smile and say, "It wasn't me. It was a seed of hope planted by an old man and watered by faith." Then he would add softly, "The rain doesn't come because we wait for it. It comes because we believe it will. Never give up, even when everything seems hopeless."